Lesson 100. My part is essential to God's plan for salvation. This lesson raises a few interesting points. It begins by telling us that we are not going to have separate interests anymore, and that when we join with our function, that we share one purpose. So let's just clarify that when the Course talks about joining minds, it doesn't mean that we as separate people are joining minds with each other. It means that we are each choosing to join our mind with the Holy Spirit, and then we share a purpose with anyone else whose mind is joined with the Holy Spirit. And we also share a purpose with people who are still unconscious and sleeping, because we are seeing the light within them even as they live in darkness and fear. Separate bodies cannot join with separate bodies. That's the whole nature of the ego thought system, is that we are separate. So the joining is being accomplished through the mind, and that's what the mind training is. It's turning to that memory of God within us, which we call the Holy Spirit, as a bridge back home to heaven, which is where we are. The text says we're dreaming we're in exile, even though we're still perfectly safe at home in heaven. And we've never left. So we're told, God's will for us is perfect happiness, and we've heard that before. And if forgiveness is our function, and forgiveness is happiness, then our function and our happiness are one. Everything is one. We are going to be demonstrations of God's will for us being happiness by emanating joy. And it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to be smiling and laughing, although that certainly wouldn't hurt. And it doesn't mean that we're going to beat people over the head with a cheerful attitude, because that can be very unkind. We have to meet others where they're at. It does mean, though, that we are to remind ourselves all day that joy is our natural state, that love, peace, and joy are the same thing, and that when we are willing to know that we are not an ego self, then we are also willing to know that we are not scared, we are not deprived, we are not chaotic, we are not fearful. And knowing that induces a natural levity, a lightheartedness, an enlightening. So today we attempt to understand that joy is our function here. God himself asks you to be happy so the world can see how much he loves his son. He's showing you off. He likes having you on his arm. You are God's messenger today, as a conduit, as a channel, allowing the knowledge which you are, knowledge with a capital K, not information, but a wisdom of peace, love, and joy simply radiating through you. And that's what you will deliver. That's your message. It will just brighten your presence and shine from you. So in our 5-minute practice periods every hour, we feel happiness arise in us. This is what we came for, to uncover the joy that has always been here. Let this be the one day that you succeed. He says that to us every day in one way or another. And here's an interesting contradiction. Look deep within you, undismayed by all the little thoughts and foolish goals you pass as you ascend to meet the Christ in you. So we are looking deep within, which seems to imply descending. And by doing that, we are going to ascend to the Christ in us. I comprehend the Course in a kind of circular fashion, either a spiral staircase leading to heaven or a circle connecting me and you so that I see the face of Christ in you, which mirrors back the face of Christ in me. There's that kind of circle. And the Course talks about upside down perception. That's what the ego does, reversals, opposites. So it's kind of fun that if we descend, we will ascend. Because when we get down to the bottom of the ego's darkness, there's nothing there. We encounter the light, which has always been there. We've just been trying to throw a blanket over it, or a brick wall is more like it. And last but not least, we're told, do not forget the idea for today between your hourly practice periods. I think we were told that yesterday as well. So now we're remembering our 5 minutes on every hour as a practice, and as much as possible during the hour also. What could be better? Here we go. Let's do 5 minutes. Getting comfortable. My part is essential to God's plan for salvation. coming back now. Here's my whirling dervish, my Sufi dancer, awakening us. In my 5 minutes, I had that pixelated feeling I mentioned to you a while ago, a sense of turning into dots and an expanding that occurred along with that. Feel your happiness today. And if you're not feeling happy and it's just not there for you, don't beat yourself up about it. Just turn over to Jesus or the Holy Spirit what is there and know that you are being unburdened in that way. And one of these days you will feel that happiness just bubble up within you. Namaste.